At 14 years old, he was laughed at, not because he failed, not because he was weak, but because he was poor. His shoes were torn, his lunchbox was empty, and every day, he walked past a group of boys who whispered, "Look at him. He'll never be anything." One day, he heard something that changed his life forever. "You were born poor. You'll die poor." That sentence burned. But what those boys didn't know, the poor boy had a secret, and that secret made him rich. Not lucky, not overnight, not by magic, but by something far more powerful. The boy's name doesn't matter, because he could be anyone. He could be you. He lived in a tiny house with a leaking roof. His father worked long hours. His mother skipped meals so he could eat. Every night, he watched his parents struggle. And every night, he asked himself one question: is this my future too? One evening, while helping his father clean a small shop, he overheard two wealthy men talking. They weren't talking about money. They were talking about habits. One man said, "Success isn't about money. It's about what you do when nobody is watching." The boy froze. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept repeating that sentence in his head. What you do when nobody is watching. The next morning, he made a decision. He would stop focusing on what he didn't have and start building what others couldn't see. While other kids played, he read. While others slept, he learned. He didn't have expensive books. He borrowed old ones, sometimes torn, sometimes missing pages. But he read them anyway. He studied people like Warren Buffett. He read about Elon Musk. He learned from Oprah Winfrey, not their money, their mindset. He noticed something powerful. They were not born with magic. They were born with discipline. They invested in knowledge. They built skills. They failed quietly and improved daily. So he copied that pattern. Not perfectly, but consistently. Years passed. Nothing dramatic happened. No lottery win. No viral moment. No miracle. His friends mocked him again. "You're still broke. You study too much. Relax. Life is short." For a moment, he almost quit. It hurt watching others enjoy life while he sacrificed. It hurt feeling behind. It hurt being invisible. One night, he stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Is this even working?" That's the dangerous moment. The moment most people stop, because results are slow and doubt is loud. But he remembered his secret. What you do when nobody is watching. So he kept going. At 21, he started a small online service. Failed. At 22, he tried again. Failed. At 23, he improved his skills and tried again. Still small. Still struggling. But this time, something was different. He wasn't chasing money anymore. He was solving problems. He understood people. He understood value. And slowly, very slowly, money started following him. Not huge at first, just enough to breathe, then enough to grow, then enough to invest. By 30, the same boys who laughed at him were asking him for advice. They said, "You're lucky." He smiled. Lucky? They never saw the nights he studied. They never saw the rejections. They never saw the loneliness. They only saw the result. Here's what most people don't understand. Being poor is not just about money. It's about mindset. If you believe you are stuck, you stay stuck. If you blame the world, you stay powerless. But if you decide to improve 1% every day, your future changes. The poor boy's real secret wasn't a business trick. It wasn't a shortcut. It wasn't a hack. It was this: he delayed pleasure. He chose growth over comfort. He worked when nobody clapped. That's rare. And rare things become valuable. Years later, he repaired his parents' house. He bought his father new tools. He made sure his mother never skipped a meal again. One evening, his father asked him, "What changed our life?" The boy, now a man, replied softly, "I stopped waiting for someone to save us." Silence. Because that's the moment you realize no one is coming. No teacher. No government. No miracle. It's you. If you are poor today, that is not your fault. But if you stay poor in mindset, that becomes your responsibility. Your environment may be small, but your discipline can be massive. Your resources may be limited, but your effort doesn't have to be. Remember this, the world rewards value, and value is built in silence. The poor boy's secret was simple. He worked on himself, long before the world noticed him. And one day, the world had no choice but to notice. So the real question is, what are you doing when nobody is watching? Because that is where your future is being written. His secret habit made him a millionaire.